Beyond Saltmarsh is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming back and joining us again. This is the Superior Adventurers Guild. My name is Dave, your humble dungeon master, and we're about to dive into another episode of Beyond Saltmarsh. I am pleased to announce that we're back at it this week and playing with some of my favorite friends, my good buddies, if you will. Say hello to them all. Say hello to my little friends. Here we go. Hi.
Hey.
Hello, guys. How's it going?
How's it going?
It's going great. Welcome back. Yes. We're here. We're live.
Yes,
I think.
Queen.
Can somebody confirm that we are live? I think we are.
We're live. I'm hearing audio from the Twitch stream, so
hey, that's got to mean something good.
Because it was bothering me.
Wait, what's Twitch? Anyhow, guys, let's introduce ourselves to our friends that are hanging out with us tonight. Andy, why don't you start, sir?
Hey, everybody. My name is Andy. I'm playing Rhunar Deg, 8th level human, dual sword wielding Battlemaster fighter, captain of the Good Buddy, and new proud owner of the Blood Spear of Midlanticutli.
Nice.
Did you write that up phonetically?
Nope.
I think you did.
That's all memory. That's all memory.
Wow. Atlanticuli. I thought it was. But...
Nice job. I'm impressed.
Nice.
Yeah, me too. Hello, I am Byron Hern. I'm actually Kirk, but I'm playing Byron Hern. Also known as Dr. Dave McGillicuddy, also known as the Rogue, also known as the Doctor, who last session saved a fuzzy ball from certain peril.
Yep, you kind of cupped it
and
let it go.
Yeah, I held it in a boat. I took some damage for me. I saved it from the thing killing it, and then I set it free.
And all that after it stabbed you and gouged you with its claws a couple times.
It did tear off a part. It did tear off a part of your face.
I'm not necessarily the best at bear surgery. I'm not a vet. I'm a doctor.
Makes sense.
I feel like it's a growing niche that you'll only get better at with time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, soon everyone will be coming to you for their bear doctor needs.
Mm.
I just have to roll a bear.
I mean, or befriend a real one that won't go away.
Aww.
Yeah, have it
only after he takes the levels of ranger.
And then convince Dave to let it be your sidekick. And then
think about this: sidekick surgery, ape surgery,
baboon,
tiger surgery, giant hyena surgery.
Wait, you have tigers?
I've never rolled a tiger.
Oh man, I was gonna say we've never seen a tiger.
I can probably hook us up with some tiger surgery, but I'm gonna guarantee you're not gonna like it. It's not gonna be good. Hello, my name is Chad, sometimes known as North Shore DM. I play Tenoch Knucklebones, the resident jungle-born halfling divination cleric who rides the dreams of... Yeah, cleric.
You're a cleric now?
Yeah, I'm a cleric-wizard.
Wait a minute.
Cleric-wizard. No, I'm a wizard. Divination wizard who rides the dreams of Mother Tiger, his people's patron spirit. That may or may not eat as many people as she saves. Who knows?
So he's got a patron. So now he's a warlock?
Mistress. Yeah. No. As a group, we're warlocks, but individually, we can be whatever.
Got it. Yeah. You can call yourself whatever you want. I think that's beautiful.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's 2021.
Yeah. You want to call yourself a doctor?
Numbers don't matter anymore.
There's no licensing in Greyhawk.
Yeah, right.
Review
especially
board,
when you
malpractice.
Is it spelled Gray Hawk? Greyhawk instead of with an E?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the hell we're doing now. We got a village of a full undead infestation going on of some kind. We think it sounds really bad. We can't it's dark out. We can't see great. That strange monstrosity, burbly, John Carpenter's The Thing guy. Yeah. So there's
It's hard
that.
to say.
Anyway, there's
It's
that.
hard to say.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael.
Hi. Oh God. Well, hoy chummers. My name's Michael. I'm playing Dr. Attacker, the Street Sam troll for the party, who's still pissed that the damn knife ears assault team that came out of Tirnanog made him drop his fucking assault cannon last time going through the Barrens. But that's okay. He's gonna get back as soon as we get a hold of Mr. Johnson and wring his scraggly little neck
Michael,
for setting us up. What?
Michael, that's the wrong game. That's Tuesdays.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm so sorry.
So confused.
Hold on, let me check my notes. My notes for this game just say I'm awesome. I don't really know what to do with that. It's
That's
probably
interesting.
because
My notes for this game say you're the necromancer.
Yeah.
this just in.
I thought he was
I'm
a
always
paladin.
the necromancer.
I thought he was
Much like our halfling friend, Theo is also confused. He thinks he's a paladin. He might be a necromancer. He's definitely listed as a hexblade warlock on numbers. So time is a weird soup, and we'll see what happens now that we seem to have entered some sort of Dreamtime-esque space with an enormous tree that's appeared out of nowhere and an archdruid. So that's gonna get weird. Back to you, Dave.
Wow, I'm so confused. I don't know if this is Tuesday, Wednesday, if it's Thursday yet. I don't even know. Guys, we've got announcements. I'm trying to think of what they are. Andy, you have an announcement,
I do.
don't you?
Am I muted? Okay. Hey, we got merch.
Hey!
Go check it out. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, tank tops, baby shirts. We got totes, coffee mugs, stickers.
That's true.
We got it all. It's crazy.
You know what's kind of cool is that everything in our store right now is 35% off.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
because that's the kind of guys we are over here. We like discounts. Discount
Nice.
sales.
Nice.
Anyhow,
For a limited time.
It is true.
For a very limited time.
yeah,
So
how
get
much
on it.
time? Till the end of the
Andy?
stream?
Let me look.
Andy, that
I'm
was a
not seeing
great announcement. I'm wearing a shirt from our store, the Vidar official Vidar shirt of champions.
I see the sale.
He's a champion.
Yeah, we do have merch. I think if you buy shirts, we get like $1 or $2. And honestly, we just did this so we could have our own. I mean, I think the only people that have bought shirts so far have been us, which is
Right.
that's fine. I like t-shirts.
Yeah, it says save 22% for the next 1 day, 6 hours, 48 minutes, and 52 seconds.
Oh,
Damn it! I need to order some shirts.
So I think
gonna
it's
get
like
a
a
onesie.
T-Public thing.
yeah, and it will make more shirts if people have ideas for other shirts. I'm gonna make one with Andy's face saying, "Am I muted?" with a question mark. I think that'll be the next one. I've been wanting to do that for a while.
I was going to design a Good Buddy shirt at some point.
Do it. Design it.
All right.
We'll get shirts. And then we'll get tattoos. We're gonna start up a online tattoo service. But we'll talk about that next week. Chad, you have some announcements, non-tattoo related.
I do. It may be that you enjoy the things that we do and want to get into it a little bit more. Perhaps you want to play a game with us, or you would like to play a game with other rad people, perhaps a number of strangers. I have that availability. Virtual Greyhawk Con, a convention hosted right here on the internet by Jay over at the Lord Gazumba channel, is October 1st through the 3rd. And there are a number of very talented folks running games, all kind of set in the world of Greyhawk across, I'm sure, a number of different versions of Dungeons and Dragons, perhaps systems. I can't confirm that part, but at least different versions of Dungeons and Dragons. We a guild Superior Adventurers Guild are in fact running a game there called The Siege of Westkeep, which is on Saturday the 2nd. Dave will be hosting and running that game, wherein I'm sure a lot of mayhem will happen. It's going to be super sweet. We've been talking about it. I'm excited. It seems like it's going to be super fun. There's a link that I'm sure is going to appear in the Twitch chat that will tell you where to go if you want to register for games there and figure out how that all works. It's going to be pretty sweet. I'm stoked. Also, another what's the word?
Con?
Another way that you can do the same sort of thing. Wow, it's been a day. Gamehole Con is October 21st through the 22nd. It is a fantastic physical convention over in Madison, Wisconsin. It's the largest RPG convention in the Midwest, but it is also a virtual convention as well, thanks to the things that have happened over the last year and a half. There's a large virtual presence there. And I, myself, in relation to our channel here, will be running 2 games at Virtual Gamehole Con. One, Bearcats to the Rescue, a game wherein you will play plucky high schoolers who are attempting to save their town from alien invaders, very much in the theme of Red Dawn. And I will also be running Assault on Europa 2, a game where you will be playing equally plucky Marines in space Marines, fighting to save their fellows and the colony of Europa 2 from the alien menace, aka Xenos, like in the movie Alien, or perhaps aliens. Both of these games were kind of written and created by Runehammer Games. We'll be using their system, Index Card RPG, to play it. But you don't need to know any of those things to play. Newcomers are welcome. It's going to be super fun, fast-paced. I'm excited. Lots of big over-the-top action and lots of Xeno dead bloodness. There's probably a link about that. Those games are Friday and Saturday. There's going to be a lot of other awesome stuff going on there. I'm really hoping that there's going to be a virtual component to some of the like the talks, the panels and stuff, because that would be super sweet. I'm always super interested about panels at conventions. But if you can afford to go and are willing to go, the physical convention is one of the best that you're going to get that doesn't choke you out like Gen Con does, because that one's of course so big. It's pretty rad. So
like there's wrestling or what?
There's wrestling. If the same taco truck is there, because there was a taco truck when I went there out front, and it was almost as if we had to wrestle to get a spot in the taco line, because hot damn, those tacos were fantastic.
It was there in 2019. I do recall the taco truck, actually.
They're so good. They're so good. So yeah, lots of good stuff.
I like it. I would definitely wrestle for tacos. I'm in.
And my last announcement, please come join us tomorrow, right here on the channel at this same time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, for the game I run, Midwinter Keening, set in the Sealand campaign setting, a very Norse Vikings themed game written by Dream Realm Storytellers. There's probably going to be a giveaway, maybe, hopefully. There's going to be super fun, perhaps secrets revealed, and plots uncovered. Maybe we'll see. There's probably going to be fighting more stuff. They're on top of a frozen waterfall, so that's ominous. Back to you, Dave.
Hey, thanks. A lot of exciting stuff going on here at the Superior Adventures Guild. And stay tuned for more fun stuff. We've got a new sponsor for our Curse of Strahd stream, and we're going to be doing some really fun stuff with them.
We're streaming it.
Well, Are we streaming it? I don't know if we're going to stream it.
I mean,
it's going to be on YouTube. Did I just say we were?
Put it on
I guess we're streaming it.
You did say streaming it.
We can
I guess
stream it.
now we have to. I guess
Stream the last.
we will be
episodes.
held accountable. We will be held accountable.
We can edit it and post.
You know, we could stream the party just doing circles in Castle Ravenloft, just avoiding
So bad.
every encounter
running
possible. Yeah, yeah.
It's like a high school track meet.
Yeah. You know what? I have a very important announcement, guys. We have a sponsor for this campaign, CZRPG. Our friend Christian and his team at that publishing house create all kinds of fun content for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, game settings, adventures, player options, a bunch of different map packs. And they're pretty rad. And they're awesome because they've been supporting this stream for a long, long time. We appreciate their support. We want you all to support them. So right below Chad and Michael there is a link, bit.ly/guild-CZRPG. And I'm going to actually put it in here if I can type CZRPG. Go check out their catalog of content on the DM's Guild. They've got a lot of really cool stuff. If you're a dungeon master, you're going to want to check it out because there's all kinds of great ideas and tools and character options and campaign ideas and hooks and all that jazz. If you're a player, do something nice for your DM. Get them something new. Get them something shiny. You know, a new map pack maybe. Maybe a new adventure, maybe some dark hexes and some diseases and curses that they can throw back at you, because that's fun. That's why we come here. This is Dungeons and Dragons. We want to curse our players, right, guys?
That's right.
Guys?
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Guys, I'm hearing crickets over here. Anyways, seriously though, go
As long
check
as it's
out.
not Mummy Rot.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think Mummy Rot made it into that book. It was a little too much. But there's some pretty good stuff. And you're going to want to check it all out, folks. So thank you to Christian and his team. Hey, without further ado, I think we're going to jump into tonight's episode of Beyond Saltmarsh. We're going to start out, as we normally do, with a quick recap of the shenanigans that we got into last week. That's right, folks. In our last episode, the Deg Gang arrived at the ruined village of Maradu, only to find it overrun with shambling undead. Seeking to avoid direct confrontation with the horde, the party forded a dangerous route across the river near the Maradu Falls and attempted to scale a steep cliff alongside the opposite shoreline. And I recommend that you go back and check out the last episode on YouTube because it's pretty rad. It was really fun. Their destination was this circle of ancient standing stones honoring the Tuatha de Beorri. The zombified villagers persisted, and with them some sort of aberrant life form that ripped forth from their rotting flesh to seek sustenance from our heroes. One of these skulking cysts flung itself towards Byron and attached it to him, doing massive amounts of damage. You fought off the zombies as you tried to get the boat in the water. You pushed them into the current, which swept some of them away and over the falls. As zombies kind of clocked you on the shoreline, they started to cross over a hanging bridge. And you fired a bunch of magic missiles and eldritch blasts to destroy part of the bridge. And pretty much all the zombies at that point fell into the water that were on the bridge. It was pretty epic. You guys climbed to safety, found yourselves standing before the ring of monoliths. And at the center, you found a huge pile of pulsating viscera and heard voices crying out for mercy from within. More of these strange cysts erupted from the mass, latching onto Rhunar. And with them emerged a hulking amalgamation of tissue, membrane, blood, and viscera, a creature called a blood amniote. Theo took the nuclear option, as he does, and cast a sickening radiance upon the creature to drain its life force while his companions stepped away. But the plague's strength persisted as more of these pustules erupted, one attaching to Byron. You guys fought to remove the cysts, which proved to be actually pretty difficult, while the large blood amniote attempted to absorb Tenoch. The Thunderwave was key for our halfling because he cast that spell and pushed this blood amniote back into the sickness for more damage. The battle waged on, and ultimately you were able to destroy the amniote. I think a well-placed thrown dagger was the final blow. It just kind of evaporated and fell into a pile of tissue. It lost all of its structure and died near the once sacred ground of the Standing Stones of Beorri. Now, Byron was knocked unconscious by the remaining cysts, but Dan Virius rushed forward to save his apparent nemesis, killing the cyst and helping Rhunar stabilize the rogue. Theo stepped forward to heal his friend, and Tenoch pondered the type of aberrant life form that they'd just put down. At this point, you sought to purge this land, the Standing Stone monolith, of this necrotic filth. You used flame, prayer, and a drum circle. In doing so, you found yourself standing before a giant tree that sort of appeared out of the smoke of these flames. An ancient tree, grandmother tree, an enormous banyan-like tree adorned with hanging carpets of moss. And at the base of this tree, the Great Druid, Andama Elousi. Above her, perched on a low branch, a familiar scarlet macaw. And that, my friends, is where we ended last week's session and where we'll pick up tonight. What would you like to do?
Bird.
After this break.
Now a message from our sponsors.
Theo will in fact announce that he knows that bird.
Yes. So that's physically there, or is that a thing we're seeing in a less physical way?
Roll a perception check, Tenoch.
Because that was one thing I was kind of unsure about. Perception. Hot damn. Starting off good. That's an 18 perception for me.
Very nice. You, first of all, you recognize the woman from an earlier vision that you had, Tenoch. Yep. You know her immediately. It's unmistakable that she is Andama Elousi, the one who spoke to you, the one who guided you essentially to this place and told you about this tree where you could find her. For all intents and purposes, as you look around, you look at the tree above you, the ground beneath your feet, you get the feeling that this is more than a vision. This is physical. This is real. This is your reality, at least for the time being.
No, are we stabbed? Are we is there pus coming out of me? Are we hallucinating?
You're injured as you were during the battle. You are none of you are in great shape, to my recollection, but you feel that sense of calmness that I described during that last scene in last week, a sense of safety. You, with the 19, you do kind of look beyond sort of this perimeter. It's almost as if you're in some sort of an opaque or a partially opaque sphere, because beyond it you can see the bloodied battlefield. You can see the Standing Stones are within this sphere, so you see them. And within the sphere there are, where once there was this pile of viscera, there are flowers sprouting from the ground. And there are small woodland animals that seem to be scouring the area up and down on the Standing Stones around Andama. But beyond that, it's sort of fuzzy. And you can see where the bridge is. And it's sort of hard to make out what's going on over there just because of the strange sort of nature of this, some sort of a sphere that you're inside of.
So by small woodland animals scouring, do we mean woodchucks and squirrels eating things?
Yeah,
or
there's
on them?
you look down and you can see in these flowers and vines that are sort of growing up and around these stones, that there are squirrels and rodents. That's kind of what you catch a glimpse of.
There's not small animals literally with tiny little brushes and little bubbles going, scrubbing the stones and singing a magic tune, because I'm willing to go Disney princess if that's where we're going.
Man.
Yeah, no, we haven't got to that point yet. Yep.
That's
good question though. Good question.
But distance-wise, is this just beyond the clearing where the stones were? Is it
the
just
stones
right
are within? You're within that area. So where you guys were burning the desecrated necrotic pile of flesh, That's where you're essentially standing in the same place that you were. You haven't physically moved from the place, although it seems very different, because it is almost as if it's been cleaned, almost as if maybe it is what it was before.
Like, how far away is she from us, though? Like,
She's right there in front of you.
I will step forward.
She looks at you as you do. She kind of turns her head up, and you see this beautiful woman with almost like henna tattoos on her face. She's got antler headdress with itself having some vines on it, and she has these robes that almost look as if they're living, as if they're flowers and vines themselves.
Nice.
You have come. You have joined me here as I told you.
Through trial, a tiger's greeting.
Yes, and to you. Tell me, why have you sought this place? You have put yourself at grave danger to be here.
We suffer the disease of conscience. We could not let the slights of those we have met on our journey go unanswered.
We are also technically tracking a monster. And not like a metaphorical, like where man is the real monster and in the heart of darkness it grows. No, literally like a 15-foot tall insect man-animal hybrid.
Yes.
And can you tell us what happened here?
This village and your conscience that has guided you here. A convergence of fate or chance. It's unclear, but this desecration that has occurred is something different. Something I have not seen. There are forces on the island that seek to corrupt your adventures at the ruins are an example of such corruption. This is different. This is a aberration of the natural flow. You have done a good thing for this village, although if there are any who remain within it is a question that remains unanswered.
Does that mean what was done at the ruins was recent?
Define recent for me, for time is a strange soup.
I hear that very often. It's a common turn of phrase where I come from. Within the past, let us say, 2 to 4 weeks, so my concern is, allow me to lay this out very forthly. We are chasing a giant monster. The giant monster was at one point a man. The giant monster that was one point a man also knows this man and points at Danbarius, but we'll be getting into that later. But where we're going with that is there are also 2 people that may be pursuing this monster, and I am just wondering if the monster is related to the corruption, or if the monster is drawn by the corruption, or if the monster is seeking to purge the corruption, or if it's all just a coincidence. Also,
I take D4 damage from listening to that. That
was a lot of questions.
That was a lot. But good.
Very good questions, but
I can't.
Perhaps I will attempt to answer your questions, Inquisitive One.
that isn't even my real question.
I was afraid you would say that.
Where I was actually going with that is
Does
there
he
a
always do this? She looks over at you, Tenoch. Does he always talk like this?
I'm
new here.
I was just going to check and see if there was a Mr. Lucidi.
We'll begin with the Pinata Ruins, shall we?
Much safer.
You may or may not be aware of the history of this island and its connection to an older empire long before, well, before you. The ruins, and there are a handful of them on Cyberit, have been here for a long time, as have those that would seek to turn their power against the island itself. Myself, I am a humble servant of Orth, of the goddess Beorri. Orth is the wellspring of life. Whether on the surface, below the waves, underground, all life is a part of the cycle. Being, death, all part of the Beorri. She inspires every living thing to grow, nurtures them with blessed rain, and calls them to herself when it's time to die. Disasters that cause widespread destruction are but a piece of the flow of fate. But things that seek to desecrate and corrupt that natural flow, individuals such as the ladies of the Elder Grove, who I know have been up to no good, trying to throw a bit of a halt on the power struggle here on the island, perhaps swaying the peoples of Cyber, perhaps some other motivation. They have done this type of thing before, have turned those that should lie in rest against us. So yes, this is something different. This is something new. But there is something more terrible that you seek, that you chase, that you are hunting. This creature and the plague that it spreads, as you saw here in this place, is something outside of my knowledge. It's something that I'm concerned about, and a reason why I have called to you, adventurers. I've seen your affliction of conscience, as you say. It is what has identified you as heroes. Whether you know this or not, you shall play a role. And no, there is no Mr. Elousi.
Hey
And
guys,
he looks completely awkward, like he doesn't know what to do after that one. Just
I'm gonna smack Theo on the arm.
Now you have to get married. You have to marry her now. It's your only out.
Do you say that out loud?
No.
Okay.
Do you know of a way to find this monster we're looking for?
Well, yes. Yes, you have come here seeking that very thing, have you not? The location of this creature. I can guide you there. I can send my companion, and she looks up, who I sent to you before, to guide you.
I really like him. He's a good bird. And very handsome.
Yes. Loyal and useful and pure of heart. But these are the things that are the most susceptible to the corruption of this island. For now, rest here at the base of this tree, grandmother. You will find her shade to be healing, rejuvenating.
Don't mind if I do.
Well, Thank you for your help. It is, and I'm sure, as you can tell, we are floundering here and there a bit.
We are not from the jungle, except for the one who is from the jungle. I think we're just holding him back.
This is more of a swamp, a great morass.
you're
The
saying
jungle
not all-
is much more. It's different.
So not all jungle is like this?
No, it's worse. Most
Well,
jungle is worse. Than
You certainly
this.
know how to make me feel better about the future. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
She looks at you as you're describing this, Tenoch, and she says, "I believe your presence here to be more than coincidence.
That makes two of us.
You have come by way of the cities, but you are from the Amedio. Is that true?"
It is. My people are at home. I recall this place, and I use whatever word that I never remember on the map.
I think it's Andakara or
Andakara.
Indakara.
Yeah.
Indakara.
Yeah.
She speaks
I
to you.
remember all the places around it.
Yeah, she speaks. She changes her language from a common that you all understand to Olman, which you understand, Tenoch, and she says, "This plague that you chase to destroy, yes? Why?
It is.
Why have you followed it all the way from your home?"
It is. It is my place. It is my role. Those of my people like me who are gifted with the sight and the ability to dance amongst our mother's dreams. This is what is given to me. This is what I must do, even if it has taken the things that I love from me.
Those things that have been taken will be returned in due time. Know that you will be reunited as it turns. You have traveled far, but are you aware of the others before you?
Those are not visions I have been gifted.
She nods, and then she begins speaking in a common tongue that you can all understand. There are others who have come before you just recently, seeking this creature.
A nice couple named Xander and Zarana.
Yes, they are of the Zenzaran tribe. Are you familiar with them, Tenoch?
They are our, I guess you would say, neighbors. There are our territories are near each other. They peer over our fence.
Is that a halfling joke?
No, it's a Tool Time with Tim Taylor and Wilson joke.
It has been said that your fences are short in nature.
Well, we also don't make fences. We live in the jungle.
Yes. Well, you are familiar with their task, then? These neighbors of yours?
With their task? The level to which we know our neighbors is as a child. They have a reputation that, does not breed what's the word? Communication. forcibly keep to themselves.
Have you been to their home in the Bodal River Valley?
No. Nope.
Is that near Tomoa-chan?
I do not know.
Do you know where Tomoa-chan is?
I do not know where that is.
Fair enough.
But I have been told of this valley, and I have spoken with the Zenzaran travelers. Their task, their quest, the Zenzaran, they are here to put down the Mosenji.
Mosenji?
The creature you seek.
What do they know about the creature that they have a name for it? Because we have not heard anything like that.
Tenoch, roll a history check for me, or Arcana, your choice.
Ooh. Character sheet. Engage. Nope. Engage. I'm gonna go with Arcana since that's way better for me. So I roll 15.
Okay. Yeah, you've heard this word before. It hasn't been spoken in a long time, but it is a name that has been used to describe, or at least identify, a variety of different monsters, fabled monsters from some of the local tribes around where you live, but never consistently. It was never consistently described. The stories are vary widely in the type of creature or the type of power or the type of motivation that it has, but you have heard the word. These Zenzaran, they have dedicated their lives as sentinels, as caretakers of the valley in Bodal to stop the spread of this Mosenji. And somehow the plague has left the river valley and has made its way here through commerce, through greed of men.
No, through the doctor who was studying it and made friends with him and then somehow snuck it out because he didn't know any better. I'm pretty sure that is the actual answer because he's an idiot.
Yeah, we were tasked with finding the doctor.
Perhaps academia in service of greedy men.
Oh, there's no way they could be greedy men. We're working for them, and we would never be foolish enough to work for greedy men and get ourselves in a morally compromising position, right? And just gives Rhunar a look.
What is your motivation here then to find this creature? Is your...
Well,
Yes, go ahead.
I was just saying, we were initially hired to find the doctor and bring him back to his home because we got word that something had happened to him. But in the process, we discovered this monster. We believe it's connected to him somehow, or it may be him. So we started following it, and we, discovered all the problems upriver.
So perhaps the doctor himself is the vessel by which this plague has escaped its confines.
I would be willing to wager a large sum of anything on that fact.
It must be destroyed. It cannot be allowed to leave this place.
You don't think there's any way to save the person and destroy the monster?
That is a question that I cannot answer. This is as I mentioned, something that is outside of my knowledge. It does not fit into my understanding. That will be for you to decide.
I would certainly like to try and save the doctor because, no one likes being possessed by evil things and doing awful shit. Or if they do, they need to die. But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he is just an inquisitive idiot.
Maybe the Zenzarans know. How far
Need to find them.
do you know where we can find them?
They have traveled forward to an area called the Cauldrons. As you head further east, you will find yourselves in a region where the forest gives way to deep, incised gorges and canyons, close enough to the core where volcanic activity has left its mar.
Are the volcanoes still active?
There are no longer volcanoes per se, but vents, warm, wet, and I'm afraid perfect for a creature of this type to lair up and find a place to rest, to consume, or worse. These cysts that have grown upon the people here, you've seen them, yes? They have touched you as well.
Yes.
Persistent little buggers.
They are, as far as I can tell, one and the same as this creature. Spores, if you will.
It's how it's spreading its plague.
That is what I'm afraid of. If allowed to fester, I fear that it will do more damage than it has done already.
You could overrun the island,
Yes, and worse.
given enough time.
That's the type of thing that takes out the entirety of the Sea Princes and turns it into some sort of horrifying necropolis of terrifying plague-charged undead. Which, all opinions on the Sea Princes aside, just not a good thing.
No, it probably wouldn't stop there either, right? If left unchecked, if it got powerful enough.
I mean, there's other hideous things in the world that might come up against it, or other wonderful things in the world that might come against. Either way, let's not get there. Let's avoid the getting there part.
Right.
My friend will guide you forward. Perhaps you can reach the Guardians. Perhaps they have already reached the Cauldron. That is where I believe you will find this creature that you seek.
I have a very sneaking suspicion you are correct.
Are you able to cleanse this village?
Yes. Now that you have destroyed the amniote, some sort of reproductive organ of this creature,
Oh, that's even grosser.
I believe that the cleansing has already begun.
I don't like anything we just talked about.
That's good.
But you must rest.
That's true. This hurts a lot.
Yes.
We should.
Miss Lucy,
Yes.
we I'm gonna reach into my pouch and I'm gonna pull out that bracelet that I took from the tomb. I took this from the tomb, and I'll hand it over to her.
She reaches out her hand, and you kind of hand it to her, and she holds it in her hand for a moment.
Byron, are you proposing to her? Because I asked first.
No, no, that's not what I'm doing. I just want to know my bear's okay.
Your bear. Tell me more.
Well, you might have seen it claw me and bite me a couple times while we were fighting on the boat. I sent it into the woods north of here. It's not of this land. I just want to know that it's safe. I didn't want it to die. I wanted it to live out the rest of this day at least.
Tell me, how is it that someone like you comes to travel with a bear?
It's complicated. I'll take out the tan bag full of balls. And I'll kind of hold it up and I'll be like, it's just, these are all animals, and I'll put the bag back down and I'll be like, but like, I'm not trying to kill all of them. But the big thing is like, you seem like a pretty nice lady, and you gave us this dome, and this is, I see all the animals that you have, so it's pretty obvious to me that you care about animals too, and we have traveled long distance, and we went to that tomb, and I took that bracelet thinking it would be really cool and stuff, but if it's yours, like, I don't want to take it from you, like, or if it's like not a good thing for me to have taken, you can have it back. Just tell me my bear's okay, or at least protect my bear. Oh, Lucy of the forest tree thing, and I'll look up at the tree, and I'll look back at Rhunar and be like, I'm not dreaming, am I?
You have a kind heart. I can see it. Tell me, this bear, you wish it to live its days free on this island, safe?
Well, this day, at least. I mean, it's gonna at dawn.
Do they really?
Yeah, they disappear.
They disappear? Oh, I thought they just stuck around.
No, they're gonzo.
Yes, your bear is going to be fine until it poofs again.
Sweet.
This cycle of life and poof.
Something about it's better to have lived and loved than to have never lived, or I don't know.
I think you're getting into the whole concept that any existence, as long as it brings joy and light to a dark world, is still a good and positive thing, and we should love it.
You're so good with words, Theo.
It's because I steal them from everyone around me. You all were actually poets before I met you.
She takes the bracelet from you and examines it for a moment, and then she hands it back to you and says, "You have cleansed the ruins. This is yours."
Sweet. I'll put it back in my pocket.
We will seal the ruins and hope that we can perhaps keep those hags from returning.
Do you want us to go back to the ruins and finish clearing it out?
You have a greater task ahead of you for the moment.
The
On the other
hags
side,
were
I
the
think
ones who
we are.
desecrated it? Sorry.
No, you were saying what I was about to say at length, which is if we run into those bitches, we should probably put them down. But they're hags, and that's a little bit harder to do than you think.
They are quite powerful, as you can imagine, if they were of lesser quality, they may have been put down already.
If we see an opportune moment, we will take it.
Very
Oh, I
well.
have one more thing. I have one more question. And I'll reach back into my bag and I'll take out that drawing of the Zelberry Blossom.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way we can get a couple of these to go?
Can I get it in a Happy Meal with a little toy?
She turns. She takes the ticket from you and hangs it on the little hook and says, "Order up." You describe the Zelberry Blossom, and she knows exactly what you're talking about. And she says, "Do you seek to quest, or?"
No. The village of Lumbakaya,
Yes.
they have people who need it. It is important to them, and they're important to us. So we want to bring it back so they can propagate it, quest on their own, and continue what they've done here. Maybe there.
She reaches down to her feet, and it's almost as though her hand goes into the ground as she pulls up a root ball with this beautiful plant that fits the description of what you're saying. And she says, "This will be seeded here and for the people of Lumbakaya." And then she hands it to you.
Sweet. I will take it and gosh, I don't know how to take care of plants at all. I'll kind of like hold it out like it's delicate and kind of like look around and be like, yeah.
Are there other questions that I can help you with? And this whole time you're starting to feel like, if it was a video game, you'd be feeling like your health meter slowly increasing. Like you're being like, you're feeling better and better as you're sitting around. And at this point, you know, like there's probably like tea is being passed about. You know, so you're having a nice cup of tea if you want.
Yep.
And
I was
the
just gonna ask,
animals
is
and
there
other
like
things are there moving about.
Is there like a fresh spring of cool water?
You have the cleansing river of Beorri right here.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna drink deep.
Yeah.
Theo will actually go. And he pulls out the torch amulet. We found this. There was a ghost. It involved the ruins. This amulet. Do you know anything of this amulet, or is it something that just happened to be here?
The torch amulet of Bregan. Yes.
Yes, it is certainly an amulet. I don't know the rest, but that sounds very good.
This was crafted from somewhere beyond the island, but I have felt its presence here.
Okay,
Yes, it is quite beautiful, and it should provide you with some level of protection in your travels.
It has done so far, and I'm quite happy to encounter it. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't some sort of strange history I needed to be aware of here on this island. Well, thank you.
I have something for you. And she looks at you, Tenoch.
Oh, me. Oh.
And she reaches down to her wrist, and you can see that she has on a piece of jewelry, a bracelet, made of silver. It kind of glimmers a bit, and it's crafted to almost appear as though it's made out of some sort of like a petrified wood, perhaps. There's no clasp at its back or anything. It's got it's stylized to represent like these bubbling cauldrons, and it has decorations of mistletoe and sort of a lattice work of vines that run up and down it. It's quite beautiful, this silver bracelet. And there are, along one of the sprigs of mistletoe, there are 3 berries set prominently at sort of the center point of this bracelet. She takes it off and she hands it to you. She says, "The Torque of Beorri. It's a protective relic that I think you should have." She hands it to you.
Receive it. Thank you.
Do you put it on?
I'll put it on.
As you do it, you're amazed at how it fits your small halfling wrist, almost as if it was crafted for you.
Zip ties. Amazing things.
I see much good in you. And I think that you can do good things for this island and for the Zenzarin. Help them.
We will.
So at this point, you're having tea, you're feeling better and better. If you guys have any other questions that you want to ask her, you can ask her questions. Otherwise, we can sort of wind down this encounter with Andama Elousi.
What's the deal with the torque?
As you spend some time with it, you'll find that it is indeed magical. It does require attunement.
Okay.
It allows you once each day to cast Mirror Image as an action.
I like
That
it.
is not to be fucked with. That
I'm into
is
that.
quality.
That's awesome.
Also, I think you're now legally married, so hey, good on you.
I have received gifts.
How'd that happen?
I've received gifts from the Heirophant. When you got looks like these.
Mhm.
Sweet.
I would the end with Theo's end is he would thank her very much for her hospitality and her help, and just generally be very grateful for the nice druid lady that came out of nowhere and helped save our bacon.
Yep.
Rhunar,
Byron's just gonna walk
Tenoch,
around.
Oh, go ahead.
A flower. Oh, sorry. Byron's just gonna walk around with this like root thing in his hands, like holding it out, kind of like looking at it, like in awe. Like can't believe she pulled it right out of the ground. Unsure how to carry it really.
We'll find you a pot.
Oh, nice. And he might even walk up to Danvarius and he'll be like, "Hey, Danvarius, check out this root."
She gave me a root, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one we're looking for.
Tenoch got it some silver, but that's cool. It's a plant, right?
It is. Hey, thanks for rushing over and saving me, man.
Yeah, well, you'd do the same for me, yeah?
Yeah, I would.
He kind of looks at you, sort of gives you the Larry David sort of.
Oh, if he wants to roll an insight, I'm being sincere.
All right.
Now,
Nah, at this moment, you're being sincere. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good on you, mate. And he kind of reaches out to shake your hand. He makes a gesture.
I'll try to shake his hand, but like also like move like I don't know how to hold the root with one hand. Like if I should just put it under my hand, and I'll like reach out and kind of like touch him with my elbow.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be really awesome.
You need a dirt pocket.
I guess I could put it in with the fuzzy balls. And then genius. I'm gonna drop a fuzzy ball.
You can have the monkey. Hopefully it's a monkey and the monkey can carry it.
Now we get the tiger.
No opposable thumb. Sorry. I guess it could carry it in its mouth.
It just knocks it off it knocks it off the plateau.
Oh boy.
What'd you get?
I got a jackal.
That's no help either.
And as it shows up, I'm gonna look at it and be like, fuck. And I'm gonna keep holding it. And I'm just gonna tell it to like just run off into the woods. Just go live a happy life. Go live a happy life, Jack.
It
You want her to
bounds
keep
off.
an eye on that one too?
What?
You want her to watch the dog too?
It's a jackal, and yeah.
I could
Protect
keep
it
an eye on
from
all. I could keep an eye on all of them for you, if you wish to free them. But it will be at a cost for you. You will not have their aid.
I'll give her the tan bag of tricks.
Whoa!
Byron.
She takes it from you, and one by one, she pulls out the balls and she drops them. And one of them's a axe beak, a tiger, a baboon, etc. Until there's just this menagerie of animals kind of milling about. And the baboon comes over and kind of looks at you, kind of gets up in your face a little bit and kind of picks out something out of your beard, eats it, and then kind of bounds off, starts climbing up the tree. And the rest of the animals just kind of disperse from that place.
And now I don't have to feel guilty anymore.
Rest
I mean,
assured
until
that
they-
these animals have entered our realm of the living, and they have now become part of our family. See, I told you were good-hearted. At this
Pure
point,
Some
Yeah,
of
go
that.
Feel relief.
you feel relieved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And another round of tea comes out, and at this point she sort of gets up and she says, "It is time for me to take my leave. Let your affliction of conscience guide you. Your destiny is in the Cauldrons." And at this point, you're feeling extremely relieved, satiated. You feel as though it's like nap time. You kind of this wash of fatigue, although a very comfortable fatigue, not like a exhaustion, more of like a almost a I don't know, some sort of a soothing relaxation comes over you, and you kind of blink heavy as you lay there and kind of giggle and maybe there's some light conversation that trails off into just kind of gibberish, and you seem to close your eyes for only a moment, but when you open your eyes, Grandmother Tree is gone.
1,000 years have passed.
The strange, yeah, you're all Rumpelstiltskin. The strange sphere that had enclosed this space has disappeared. The carnage that was once around the standing stones is gone, as if it was when you were speaking with Andama. It appears as though it is not pristine, but has recovered from whatever desecration there was. There are plants growing. All of that flesh and all that mass that you fought is gone. She is gone, but above you, perched on one of the stones, is a scarlet macaw, and it kind of looks down at you, and then it just squawks. "It shows us the way! It shows us the way!"
Yes, you do, big fella. Yes, you do.
I like him.
At which point,
shows the way.
Theo looks around and goes, so that all happened. I accidentally flirted with an archdruid. Remind me never to do anything that fucking stupid again. Someone, I don't care who. Fuck.
Seems pretty specific, though.
Well, you're not wrong.
She didn't
I
seem too
support you,
offended.
man.
Well, when you're an archdruid, I think you kind of let certain things go.
Perhaps.
Love's in the air.
Hey.
Nope. Remember,
Yeah,
Tenoch is the one that got the engagement prize. So if any of us come out ahead in that one, it's our muscly friend.
All right, east. Which way is east?
Shows us
Fuck
the
it,
way.
upriver.
Shows us
Damn
the way.
it, it's that fucking way.
The
Follow
bird,
the macaw.
the macaw alights off of the standing stone and flaps its wings, its big, heavy wings, and starts to fly east past the clearing of the standing stones and continues into the forest. So at the edge of the jungle, it perches on a tree and kind of waits for you.
So we go by land or by boat?
Doesn't appear to be going in the direction of the river.
Yep, looks like we're on foot.
Also,
make sure-
we'll be hard pressed to move that boat anytime soon.
We should make sure we secure it extra well. Like,
I'm pretty sure we pulled it halfway up the cliff, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
maybe we should pull it all the way up. Do you think it's going anywhere?
I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Let's leave it.
All right.
We'll get something else if we need it. We can. I'll build a boat out of what's left of the village if we need to.
I would love to ride a boat that you built.
Yeah, fellas?
Wait, you have carpentry tools, actually.
Yeah,
I
Dead
do have
Berries?
carpentry tools.
Yeah, well, my experience leaving a craft in the river is probably not the best idea. It may not be there.
Not in the river.
Rivers flood.
We did actually pull it up, didn't we?
We
We
pulled it
did.
halfway up. and
Oh,
tied
did
it
you?
off.
So it's out of the
Yeah,
water.
It is
It's
out
like
of the water. We
Fully
pulled
out of the water. It's like halfway up and then like tied off.
Let me
So it's like
rewind
dangling.
that. Yeah, fellas, leaving a boat dangling off the side of a cliff is sometimes problematic.
Well, let's go pull it up. Hold on for a second, Sir Bird. Thank you. And we'll go check on the boat.
You watch as the macaw just kind of tilts forward and its tail feathers go up and a white splotch hits the ground below it. And then it just kind of opens its wings and starts preening itself. Doesn't look like it's in any sort of hurry whatsoever. You guys make your way over to the cliff. You over the next couple minutes, you pull the rowboat up onto the plateau above the river, and you strap it down and tie it up and secure it. As you gaze across the broken rope bridge, you see a ruined village, but you don't see any sort of creatures milling about.
How big of a village are we talking? Like twice the size of the last one we were out, about the same size, 100 times larger and filled with the gold of 1,000 sacrifices?
It would roughly be twice the size of the place that you were at before.
Okay.
It's a very reasonable size.
Does it look like we can get safely across this bridge?
Potentially.
What's the span? Like, how can I tell how far across it is?
Yeah, you walk over and you can see that it's approximately 20 feet from one edge to the other edge.
All right.
Rhunar, I bet you can jump that.
I
A
was just
respectable
thinking that.
span.
I'm just checking my.
Your boots.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should come back and worry about the village if we survive dealing with the monster.
Yeah, we got to go the other direction, dude.
Oh, we have to go the other opposite direction?
Yeah. Well,
We don't have to cross the bridge?
I don't
Oh, okay.
know.
Sorry, I
No.
misunderstood that.
Yeah, it's to the east. The bridge was to the west.
Okay.
Indeed.
Was it
we're
really?
not
Okay,
looking at
yeah,
the map.
opposite direction then.
Well, the bridge was on the left-hand side of the map, and
Yeah, now I remember.
you can associate that with west.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Are we ready to roll?
Let's do it.
I made
Yep.
some bacon. Does anyone want some bacon?
I would
Yes.
like food, yes.
Yep.
Theo pans out several pieces of hands out several pieces of hardtack that all taste like bacon.
These taste
Yeah.
like bacon.
It's a neat trick.
This is delicious.
Yeah, good on you. That's tasty.
Behold, I am a wizard. It gives Tenoch a look.
I thought you were a necromancer.
Interesting.
Wizards are a subset of necromancer. Also, what the hell? Why do you keep calling me a necromancer?
He's got a bit of an identity problem.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she even said that you like pulled the dead. Or no, she was talking about the creature, wasn't she? Never mind.
Yeah. No, she wasn't talking.
And then I'm gonna
But-
look over at Tenoch and be like, "Why are you laughing? I saw you wield the dead too, necromancer."
It's true. I do bind them to my service.
Actually,
that's
it's a funny
Pretty
story.
evil.
A very specific note of clarification on magical theory. Any form of curative magic is classified in theory and in the theoretical papers and organization used by most wizards and other academic and sorcery institutions are classified technically as a form of necromancy. So every time I've healed your wounds, I have in fact been committing necromancy, and I can stop any time you'd like.
I'm gonna flip through my arcane book, see if I can find that in my book anywhere.
Does that track in the latest volume of your historical research, or is that only in previous volumes?
The sources I was using, as far as I'm aware, were histories from the last century, so I don't know if there's been that much update in the theory and consensus by the professionals.
I seem to
Tenoch.
remember in the third and fourth volumes that was true. It may not be true in now the fifth volume.
Tenoch, point of order. Can you read?
Tenoch, while they're having this conversation, you look down and you see the bracelet on your wrist, and it looks a little something like this.
Oh, sweet. I was going to ask you about that. Very cool.
Yep. And this is actually a cool magic item that was created by Carlos Lacing, and it's in as a Patreon. I'm one of his supporters. He sends out monthly content, and so this was part of that content. I changed it a little bit for this game, but I think it's pretty rad. But that's the magical item that you were given by Andama Elousi, and again, it allows you to cast Mirror Image once per day as an action.
Is that an item that you have created in Roll20, or should I just?
It is. You should write it on your character sheet somewhere, so we know that you have it on you. But it is in your. You do have access to it in Roll20.
Okay.
Yep.
But it's not the sort of thing I can drag onto my character.
No,
sheet.
you just have to write it
Okay.
on there. There's probably a way to do that, but I'm not sure how.
You
that
must
works.
use your words in the way of old and type it in.
Correct.
Yeah, I constantly forget how to do that. So
But yeah,
thank
that's
you.
it. That's it right there.
Very cool.
Thanks,
And
Carlos.
I guess
Sweet.
you're the best, Carlos.
Yeah.
So I guess while eating our bacon-flavored bread, we follow the a very large macaw.
Yes, let's move.
Let's move on to the journey. But first, let's move on to a quick break. We'll take 10 minutes and come back at 8:30 and jump back into this. And a real quick thanks to Fantasy Animal Vegan for the follow. Much appreciated, Fantasy Animal Vegan. Nice to see ya. Thanks for stopping by. We just freed a bunch of animals who had been sort of enslaved to the tan bag of tricks. Now they roam free on Cyber Isle. And maybe
We literally just dealt with an existential crisis. Holy shit.
Yeah, we did. And it was pretty rad. All right, we'll be back in just a little bit. Thanks, everybody. See ya shortly.
Hooray.
Hello. We are back. Welcome
We are
back, guys.
back.
We're on Cybert Isle in the wonderful world of Greyhawk. And you have cleansed the ruined village of Moradu. You have taken an audience with the Heirophant of Beorri, the Great Druid, Andama Elousi. You have gained some knowledge of the creature that you seek, and that it has possibly made its way to an area called the Cauldrons, a sort of desolate, sinuous gorge-like part of the island where the volcanic activity that lies beneath the surface of the earth perhaps comes just a bit closer, causing a bunch of what you have heard are steam vents and the like in these labyrinth-like gorges. You are currently following a colorful avian guide that leads you into lush tropical vegetation, a companion of Andama's who she has tasked with guiding you to this place, following perhaps in the footsteps of Zenzaran stewards from the Bodal River Valley, who you have... Actually, have you guys seen them at all, or just heard of them? You haven't actually encountered them, have you?
Of them.
Yeah.
We've seen like clues alluding to them, right?
Right, like the darts at the Knoll bandit camp and that sort of thing. But you've never actually encountered them yet. Okay. So you're following this macaw. It disappears occasionally from view and reappears, encouraging your slow advance. You look up and there's just this towering canopy that obscures the sky above you. And there's in every direction this dense understory that does everything it can to bar your advance through this jungle. It is not easy going. There's no trail, only vine, thorn, and thick brush ahead of you, as the macaw will oftentimes perch and wait for you, and you can just barely see the flash of color. And as you get close to it, maybe even seeking a rest as you struggle through the underbrush, it flies off again and continues to guide you. As you do this, let's get a party survival check, please.
Like Andrew WK party survivor check.
This is a party survival pack.
WK, you son of a bitch.
Hey, let's get a party started.
I'm going to remember that, Michael.
Survivor. All right. 19.
Okay.
Me and Byron will sit here in the Hall of Shame.
What do you have?
I got a 12.
Okay. Byron?
Rhunar.
I got a 3.
Oh. Tenoch.
I don't know why he's thinking he's in the Hall of Shame.
Then I got a 14.
Okay.
I'm also keeping this in my wanderer's mind.
Tell me
AKA
about this.
the background feature that I have as an Outlander wanderer. I have an excellent memory for geography and maps. I can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. I can find food and water and blah blah blah. But,
Okay.
So I'm just kind of keeping a watchful eye on features and it's the tree with the moss on the left-hand side instead of the right-hand side, and different things like that.
Yeah, you're definitely taking note of the signs of direction, of navigation. You're not familiar with this particular terrain, but
Right.
easily you're able to find fruits, berries that you're familiar with as you go.
I'm not really looking for that right now, but
But you
More
spot
of-
them. You
yeah.
can see things that you
Okay.
recognize with this feature. And you have a pretty good, I guess, insight on following the macaw.
okay.
And you can also pick out areas that seem to be easier to get through. Now, what's easy for a halfling isn't necessarily easier for a full-grown human individual, right? But Byron,
true.
you, on the other hand, get this sort of sense that you're lost. Not just you, but like where's the macaw? Like you don't even see the macaw anymore. You know, it moves so quick that you miss it.
I'm gonna call everyone to a halt. Guys, wait, stop.
Keep up, Byron.
Guys, wait, stop, dude.
I'm good. We're good.
We're lost. We have no idea where the hell we're going.
I
And
know
we're
exactly
following
where
the macaw that's right there.
Where?
And I'll point to it, and it's like 2 feet up a tree to our left.
You look up, Byron, and you see the macaw kind of standing there. Its tail feathers go up, and it drops another white splotch on the vegetation below it, and it just looks at you and kind of cocks its head. It shows us the way. Shows us the way. And then it
Yeah, but which way is it showing us?
flies through the brush.
To the cauldrons. Like follow it.
Oh.
Follow it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Here, you go in front.
Me? No.
Yeah. And I'll keep the way behind you. That way you won't get lost back there.
I'll go first. It's fine.
It's an old jungle trick. The one who's the most lost travels in front.
Sometimes I think he's fucking with
we can
us.
go in circles.
No, so that way they don't get lost behind us where we can't see them.
That makes sense.
Oh. Well, I mean, as long as I got you guys, I think we're okay.
I don't know. I'm taking his word for it. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, all right. I'll lead.
So Byron sets
Well,
off in the front of the
bird will lead. You'll follow.
the marching order. With the
Yeah.
marching order, Byron kind of takes the lead, following as best he can the bird. Although many times the person that's right behind him kind of has to tap him on the back and kind of point, kind of direct him in a different, kind of move him in a different direction from where he's going, or just kind of stand and watch him struggle for a little bit, as he's trying to go in a direction that looks extremely difficult when there's a little bit better path just to the right that he could have taken to get through a bramble.
I feel like there's a scene where like we like get separated from like going around a tree maybe, and then we come around the tree and Byron is just like in like a thorn bush, like trying to push his way forward. It's obviously not the way we're going. Like, Byron, what are you doing?
I'm pretty sure it's this way, guys.
No.
This can. Oh God, my cloak's stuck.
You're just getting scraped up as you go through this.
Yeah.
There are thorns that tear at your clothing and at your exposed skin and that sort of thing. And you eventually find what appears to be a small game trail. And it gets a little bit easier, and you can see the macaw sort of swoop down and fly low through this trail and then perch for a while, and you continue on.
I have a
Byron.
question.
Yeah, go ahead, Tenoch.
Is there a like as we I don't really know how far we are from these cauldrons, but is there like a general gain or loss of like a plus or minus in elevation that we experience as we are trekking? Are we gaining elevation as we get to this place, or is this a down place?
Do you think that this would be something that feature that you mentioned would help you to ascertain, or would you want to roll a nature check for me?
I would probably. Oh boy, what would I do? I would roll a nature check.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to leverage background powers too often. I'll roll a 22 on a nature check, though.
That's pretty rad. It is, it's not a consistent climb or descent.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a gradual increase in elevation that is starting to more and more as you continue to require you to drop into a vegetated ravine and climb up the other side. And you might be a little bit higher than you were when you started at the other side of the ravine. And so you get the sense, Tenoch, that you are climbing elevation, although it is subtle at this point.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't an island known for massive mountain ranges.
You also notice with that nature check that there is a bit of a change in the vegetation, the ecotype, if you will. Whereas you had started out this journey in the coastal mangrove wetlands near Cyber, and traveled up the river, kind of keeping yourselves in that sort of habitat with thick sort of buttressed trees, overhanging growth, a lot of vines and that sort of thing. You're starting to come up into what appears to be a much drier area. There are still a quite dense vegetative structure, but the canopy trees are starting to thin out a little bit. They are have a different leaf structure. They tend to be a little bit more, instead of these broad leaf, almost like palm trees, they are starting to look more like a thorn scrub. Still on a scale much larger than we would be familiar with in the real world. This is a fantasy thorn scrub, so they're large trees, but it is a different type of vegetation altogether as it becomes drier, making your way eastward.
Okay.
I was going to say, Byron, roll a d6 for me, and Rhunar, roll a d20.
Don't mess it up, guys.
I got a 1.
What did I just
Here
say?
goes nothing.
I rolled a 1.
A tree.
He got a 3.
Just say.
A 3?
We didn't mess it up. We rolled them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys continue on, and you get a little turned around, and the day grows long. You get the sense that you're going to have to find a place to camp at some point.
Okay, maybe we should start looking for a good spot.
What if we just stay on this trail?
I mean, we could probably camp on the trail.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you guys want to like get a fire ring and all that jazz? I don't
I
think.
mean, I would like a fire, to be fair, because that's going to keep certain things away in the night, like the zombie bats.
We are in kind of a dry
This
area.
is a different climb for zombie bats. Yeah, that's more wet.
Oh,
I could-
skeleton bats. Sorry.
I could hack out a little bit of a clearing, like just to the side of the trail or something.
Let's do that. Plus, that way, if someone else comes behind us later, we have helped them out as well.
It might be safe to, say, climb a tree.
We could go further and see if there's just a natural clearing.
Yeah, I don't mind looking a little while. I can
I
keep
mean, it's
going
starting
for
to
a
get
while.
dark. It's not dark yet. Let's go
Yes.
just a little further. We'll see if we can find something natural.
So we are looking for a good place to camp.
Yeah, and if we don't find one soon, we'll make our own.
All right, Byron,
Look at
roll
the man.
roll a survival check.
I will assist him.
All right,
And I have
with
helpful terrain.
advantage.
13.
Okay. Yeah, you guys continue on for about another hour. The macaw seems to be guiding you further into this strange thorn scrub type area, and you at some point the macaw starts to veer from the trail, this game trail, and kind of goes up this side, almost not really a kind of a scree pile on the side of this hill. And it starts to go up that way, and there's no trees on the side of that hill. But it's all rubble. It looks a little difficult. Almost like it'd be difficult terrain.
Guys, do we... I'll point at the macaw. Guys, what if it's telling us there's a camp up there?
I am going to trust the bird.
Sure, let's go over there.
Entirely possible.
I think, yeah, I agree. I want to follow it too.
All right, everybody roll an athletics check as you start to scramble up this scree slope. You can see it sort of crests about 30 feet up.
Don't mind if I do.
What's everybody
I
got?
got 13.
I
Anybody-
got an
any-
8.
11.
11?
Mhm.
Tenoch, 18?
18.
Bjorn, or
Byron.
Byron? Bjorn. Byron.
8.
An 8?
That's the other game.
Byron, as you start to fall behind, having a bit of a hard time scrambling up as Tenoch and the others seem to be light on their toes. And Dan Virius is kind of behind you, and he kind of catches you and helps you a little bit, and he pats you on the back and gives you a bit of encouragement, and then he kind of moves past you, heading up the trail, up the slope, excuse me. And you finally make it up. And as you do, you can see Tenoch, Rhunar, Danverius, and Theo are standing on this large, flat rock. It's probably 20 feet in width, maybe 10 feet in length, perched on the side of this scree slope that is made of cobble and boulder-sized sharp rocks, but this seems to be nice and flat. And the macaw is perched on a rock just kind of nearby. And it looks as though this might be a good camping spot. As you get up there, Byron, you pull yourself up and you're sweating. It's hot. There's horse flies that are landing on you and trying to bite you. And you look out, you turn, you get up, you turn, and you look back. And you can see the tops of the canopy for as far as you can see. And you're not even sure like from where you came from, but you've got this beautiful vista of all different shades of green. And you can maybe see the hint of a river that meanders a bit through this landscape, but it just looks beautiful, and the sun is starting to set, and so it's casting these long shadows. And you're just taking it in. It's beautiful. And right at the moment where you're thinking that, you get bit by a horsefly right on the forehead, right in the middle of your forehead.
Roll initiative.
This sucks, guys.
This looks like
this is
a pretty good spot.
beautiful and horrible at the same time.
All beauty is terrifying. Are you not familiar with that dichotomy of existence?
I am, but I'm just frustrated that this stupid. God damn it! I'm gonna reach into my bag. I'm gonna angrily pull out my 2-person tent. I'm gonna start trying to pitch it with rocks all over the place. I'm gonna get more frustrated. There's no good place to hammer a stake right here.
Just tie it to a rock.
Are you afraid you'll blow away?
No, I'm afraid my tent will collapse.
Here's the question I've been wondering for a while.
Meant to sleep under the stars tonight.
And this is obviously like we as normal humans, as the players, have ideas about what tents are.
Normal? But yeah, go on.
Well, that's a fair point. So perhaps paint a word picture, describe for us what your tent is like. You know, like is this like a classic pup tent where there's no bottom and it's just bottom? It's just the top.
You mean a tarp?
You might have a front. You might have a front and back. Maybe you don't.
So it's in the way I picture it is a large, like canvas roll with 6 sticks in it. 4 of them have Ys, and then 2 straight ones. You set the 4 Ys on the outside, and the 2 straight ones across the top, and the straight ones are tied down with stakes
so
with
it's like
rope.
the triangle-shaped tent.
Just a regular triangle, and you can slide in.
Okay. Yep.
And lay underneath it for cover, and it has flaps. So like.
Oh, and you have flaps.
So it shuts.
Gotta
so you
have
can
flaps.
shut out the air. Yeah. Shut out the elements. So you have protection from mosquitoes, bugs, rain.
As long as they don't climb underneath.
Yep.
Okay, I kind of figured that's what it was, but I wanted to know. I have another question that I recently just thought of. Was that how complete was the rest and healing that we received in the presence of the Heirophant? Was it the sort of thing that, say, got rid of whatever constitutional corruption we might have gained whilst fighting the amniote?
You have recovered it as a full rest. You have recovered from exhaustions that you may have taken on. And yeah, you would have received anything. Like, what are you asking about specifically? I kind of forget what you're asking about.
That's fair. I forgot until just now, like literally. But in fact, my hit point maximum was reduced during the battle with the beast.
Yes.
And I completely forgot about that.
That actually would have been resolved and have been fixed, not just by the healing power of Andama Elousi and Grandmother Tree, but for other reasons as well, mechanically for that creature. You would have been relieved of that.
As long as you take naps, you're fine.
That's a less permanent whatever.
It wasn't like the mummy rot situation, which was like a permanent affliction.
Good.
It was more of a
That shit sucks.
yeah.
It's not the sort of thing that you need to be like greater restoration on. Okay.
No.
I was uncertain, and as I said,
good question, because I forgot about that. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's get a couple of rolls here. Let's get a d20 from each of you. Let's start with Rhunar. Roll a d20 and let me know what you got.
Rhunar.
12.
Okay. Go ahead, Byron. Let's get a 20 from you.
11.
Okay. And from Tenoch.
Show us a 10. Show us a 10. Come on, give me a 10.
Whoops. Oh, that was 20 is 8.
Okay. And Theoderic, let's get one from you.
14, baby.
Nice. Okay. It seems like a pretty pleasant night. After a fashion, the insects begin to die down a bit. There's a light breeze that sort of blows them away. Danverius is able to find enough dried vegetation amongst the rocks to start a small fire. And he also comes back after sort of just walking about the area, kind of scrambling and gathering these dried roots and dried sticks. He comes back with about a 4-foot long snake that he has cut the head off of. And he throws that, he gets that going on the fire and starts cooking it up.
He doesn't look friendly.
The sky is clear.
Smells good, though.
Very clear. The stars are brilliant above you, popping out of the night sky as the sun sets. And it seems like it's going to be a really nice night as the 5 of you sit around the fire, eating, if you so desire, the bounty of Danverius' hunt, his snake food that he has prepared. And, yeah. The night is yours to do what you will if there's anything that you want to do. Otherwise, we can move into the night activities, i.e. watches and random encounter opportunities.
Theo will at one point... Nope, never mind. He doesn't because Danverius is here. Never mind.
I'm gonna roll on Dralian's journal.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna do a little bit of studying.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Do this for me,
I
Byron.
agree.
So for folks that might be watching that don't know what Dralian's journal is because it's been a little while, could you give us just a brief background on what that is?
Oh, totally. So, Byron, before encountering this party, was sent on a mission to basically hunt down the murderer of a member of the Seekers of Arcane, of which he is a member as well. His friend, his acquaintance, a member of the Seekers of the Arcane, kept a journal. His name was Aubrek Dralian in Saltmarsh. He left a journal with a number of hints, clues, and information related to the Amadio jungle south of us, where we are eventually headed, hopefully. But we haven't deciphered enough of the journal to get to the secrets of that it holds. So I hope that explains it.
Yep, and it gave me enough time to pull up my notes on Dralian's journal, so that was exactly what I was hoping for.
Sweet, yep. So I'm gonna roll a investigation check.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use the inspiration you gave me.
Very nice.
Because I had one for a while and I never used it. I forgot about it, so I'm going to use this one. Fuck.
The dice are angry.
I got an
What'd you-
11.
An 11. It has been a long journey for you, Byron. The bite on your forehead from the horsefly is festering. You've scratched, as you're paging through this journal, you're scratching it, and you can see a drop of blood fall from your forehead onto the page. And it kind of frustrates you a little bit. You don't seem to have what it takes right now in terms of concentration to really go over any new entries, but you do review quite a bit of the old entries, and it gives you a little bit extra knowledge for how to decipher. So remember this: next time you investigate, you'll have advantage because of this time is more of kind of like study. You're studying how to decipher the entries in the journal,
Sweet.
if you will.
Right on. Let me make a note of that.
But yeah, you don't gain any new information at this point. You just kind of spend time reviewing the stuff that you've already learned.
Perhaps while we are sitting around enjoying the view, watching Byron succumb to flies, he's carried off, just picked up by a million flies. I might say to my friends, how do you think we can cleanse this doctor? Damn it, I'm not entirely sure.
Octavio Gra.
Yeah, Dr. Gra.
I was thinking about that on our walk
That-
today.
It's a great question. I know arcane secrets to undo magical effects and bindings, but I think this goes deeper than my understanding.
Mine as well.
I
Hopefully,
find one of the easiest ways to purge evil is evil's very not scary if you cut its eyes out.
You clearly haven't met some of the evil I have. Some of them don't have eyes.
it's
I've
true.
never encountered that.
You don't want to. It's gross.
And now I'm gonna every night in my nightmares. Thank you.
Thanks, Theo.
There was those things.
I'm here to
that
help.
Already had a
proposed-
crappy night.
Anyways,
Um,
hopefully we can catch up with the Zinzarans. You know, I'm thinking they'll probably know a little bit more about this thing than we do.
Yes, that
Well-
is.
If
I
I
hope.
can, I was thinking if I can see it for a little bit before we attack, that would be ideal. I might be able to discern some weaknesses.
oh, you want to use a class ability, I understand.
And by that, I mean... now I can't find it. Hold on.
Aha.
That's all right. You were
There
on
we
it, man. That was good.
Danvarius, you have anything?
Well, I think we learned a bit about its capabilities at the last fight with those face huggers, if you will. I anticipate we'll see more of them, perhaps, or something more terrifying. This is something that seems to like absorb. I don't quite understand, but absorbs things, turns them inside out, if you will. I'll say this, if it happens to me. Hern, would like you to take me out. Shouldn't be a problem for you, right, mate?
Denvarius, we're not going to let you get taken out, man.
I don't intend to tune into some apocalyptic plague.
You know, if you deal with one of those little bugger things, you know, we'll get it off you. We'll get it off you. Don't worry. And if it gets on any of us, we'll get them off it. That'll be our priority. We'll get them off us.
Fair enough. I appreciate that.
Yeah, about those things. I noticed they're pretty hardy.
Yeah.
You might be better off just trying to pull it off of you.
Yeah, I was
think
wondering
it's
what
better-
everyone was doing weird things about that. You just grab and
After a while, I realized
I tried to grab it a few times, and like, they're strong. They're really
Yeah.
strong. So if you can't pull it off, if you don't think I don't think I can pull it off me, but I can kill it. And if it's on me and it's dead, it's not on me anymore.
Byron, you can pull off anything you put your mind to.
So my mom always used to tell me.
Yeah? Your mama? Tell me a little bit about it.
God damn it.
Denvarius, don't get creepy.
Was she a tree?
hey, you brought her up.
I'm curious. You're from a different place, you know?
That's
In
true.
Dakara is a vast jungle landscape with all sorts of mysteries. Might be interesting to hear a bit of a tale, if you will.
To be fair, I didn't know halflings lived there before I met you, so this is all new.
We like it that way, generally. All right. Hang on. Let me find my notes. Doot.
You have notes, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a wizard.
The name of our people is translated into your speak. We who dance tigers dream. We live in our homeland at her leisure. At her leisure. That's not the word I want to think of. But
Pleasure? At her pleasure?
pleasure. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that works. It is our home is a sacred place to us. We have a tree, maybe not so grand as this one in scale. That is at the center of our territory. We bury our dead there, and we carry a piece of it with us as we go. Although I am no longer able to do so, as my and he pulls out like a pouch necklace that you can clearly see has been like torn, so it is not a. It's more of a sleeve now. It's not a. It has no bottom. I have been cast adrift, cut off. My tie is broken.
Can you just go home and get more?
No, because as you can see, the pouch has a hole in it. Sewing is not a skill that I have.
No, but could you return to your homeland? And
My life would be
replenished.
forfeit. I have been cast out, made adrift, banished.
that wasn't an unfortunate accident.
No. As you know, my powers lie in foretelling. And while foretelling is a gift, it is sometimes a curse, a call to action. And sometimes action is difficult. Change is pain, but must be undertaken. and not everyone wishes to take it. So I was cast aside by my home. Hopefully, as the Heirophant has said, I will be made whole again. But as much as a part of me yearns for that, I seek only now the fulfillment of these visions I have.
So you just told us your tragic backstory. I'm afraid you may not survive the coming battle now.
Yeah, I know, that's right. But there's one thing I left out, though.
We're too
Good.
attached.
Good.
Don't tell us. Don't tell
The
us.
twist. Keep the twist.
I'll be back.
Oh my god. Necromancer!
Yeah, well, that
No,
gotta be a
that's the-
dork.
That's the twist.
I mean, we all kind of have tragic backstories. I mean, literally, Captain Rhunar Deg, heroically led a charge that ended with the death of everyone under his command at the Siege of Westkeep. Byron here is actually the exiled son of a prince whose mother was killed to save his life. And, I just have problems with my parents.
Bit of an
was
edgelord,
very-
aren't you, Theo?
Very insightful, Theo.
He just suddenly looks at Rhunar and goes, "Wait, was that actually true?"
Partly.
Oh, well, then I'm just an asshole and I apologize.
Not entirely.
Fuck. Sorry.
A lot of people died there.
You were
I'm
a
not
battle
related
chief.
to anyone royal. You kidding me?
Sorry, I asked.
Yeah.
You led your peoples in battle?
I've led some. I wasn't very high ranking, though, at that time. I didn't become a captain until long after that.
And now look at us.
Yeah.
Byron's knee deep in flies.
Yeah. I fucking hate it here.
Byron, you should,
Come on, Byron. It's beautiful. Look it. Look at the stars above us.
And Various,
The
we're
moon?
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
starting to
say.
get along. Stop it.
these stars remind me of that before that battle.
These stars remind me of 1,000 little flies buzzing around my face.
You should sleep out under the
Byron
stars tonight.
is just like,
No. But I'm done. I'm going to bed, guys.
Theo
I climb into my
goes-
tent.
And Theo just starts going, well, technically that one is Asesavahasta, which in Elven is the archer who rides through dawn. And that one right there, the one that's kind of circular, that's actually Esnahastotha, which is the bird that flew at the first day of morning. And he just starts pointing out constellations in Elven.
yeah, well,
My people
interesting.
call that one wheat toast.
What does wheat toast mean?
It's a triangle piece shape of bread that you toast over a fire.
This guy needs to cook for us when we get back to the boat.
I think
That
you're the
sounds
cook now.
amazing.
Perhaps I will attempt to div in Mother Tiger's dreams to see if she has insights into cleansing this Dr. Gra.
That's probably the smartest thing any of us can do. And let's go to watches, I guess.
Yeah.
Before we go to that,
You're gonna cast divination.
maybe during my watch, technically, like it is
Sure.
only actually an action to cast, although I do describe it as a ritual.
Yeah, that's fine. You're able to do that during your watch.
Okay.
Yep, and we can do that. Let's do this. Why doesn't everybody roll a d20 for me?
Do you want to start it in or do you want us to do it in an order?
Sure. Let's do Kirk or Byron. Let's go with you first.
6.
All right, Theo.
6.
Big number 1.
1, Tenoch,
12.
and Rhunar.
12.
12 as well.
Okay.
Twinsies.
Very nice. So over the night, through the night, you do not have any strange encounters. There are animals that are calling in the distance, which you can hear very well in the stillness of the night. The wind is very gentle and it is quiet aside from the crackle of the small fire. You do run out of fuel for the fire about halfway through the night, but it's not a cold night by any means. It was more of sort of a fire to keep you maybe company, if you will, to give you something to focus on during your watch. So I'll give you a chance if any of you want to do something during your watch. I know Tenoch is going to do divination, it sounds like. So why don't we start with you, Tenoch, and if anybody else wants to follow up with something during your watch, you can do that.
Sure. I will do perhaps an even lower 5 version of my ritual, so as not to necessarily wake my fellows. I will. Perhaps there is a lesser, a faster version that is more of a recitation of the sacred words instead of a full chant, and maybe a light burning of incense and a casting of bones. And I will cast divination. And I will ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to recur within 7 days. I will make the assumption that we will be cleansing this person, and I will ask my question from that point of view. I will say, how will we cleanse the Mosengi? Did I say it right? Mosengi?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's how I spelled it.
Mosenji. Yep.
Mosenji. Okay.
Yep.
Mosengi. How can we cleanse the Mosengi and free Dr. Gra?
Okay.
Maybe I'm making too many assumptions, but such as the price of power.
All right. So you go through your ritual. It looks like you consume a certain amount of offerings, including incense and maybe some other sacrificial offering.
Which I do need to do.
And you're able to do that in a way that doesn't include your drum and other things that you've used in the past that would potentially wake up your companions. But you do it on the DL, if you will. But you do, as you sweep the smoke of the incense towards your face a bit to inhale sort of the essence of the components of this spell, and exhale. As you blow that exhale out, the smoke that you have inhaled kind of forms this vision in front of you, and you can see in this smoke this idea. It's not really a picture. It's more of like a feeling of life being extinguished, of a candle being snuffed out, maybe of a flower being plucked, of a fruit turning sour.
We must take his seed, squash it. Okay.
Anyone else during your watch? Do you want to do anything in particular, or?
Theo's just gonna ramble at his sword like he does normally. So nothing unusual, but if anyone like Danvarius were to wake up in the middle of the night, might find it a little weird.
So you're just kind of talking in a low voice to Kalistani?
Yeah.
Anything in particular that you're talking about?
Just kind of recounting the day's events. going through how strange some of that was, but interesting. It's something I just kind of see him doing on the regular.
Sure. Okay. Anyone else?
During Runar's watch, he's just going to be looking at the stars, kind of being hyper vigilant at every sound, and kind of just nervously flipping and twirling a dagger that a friend gave to him.
Okay. Roll a perception check. You see sort of a shadow cast upon the campsite as the Scarlet Macaw flies in. You didn't even know that it was gone, but it flies in and lands perching right above the tent, basically on one of the tent poles. It kind of adjusts itself and sort of starts preening its feathers a little bit, and it kind of looks at you, turns its head, cocks its head towards you, and just kind of watches you for a while. But nothing strange or dangerous happens during your watch. Anything from you, Byron?
Byron's gonna sleep during his watch.
Okay. Yeah. As on brand, you're woken up by your companion and quickly fall back asleep.
I actually was thinking about that. Instead of just going straight to sleep, this time Byron's gonna just get woken up, walk over to somebody else who's sleeping and be like, hey, it's your turn, and then go to sleep.
Okay, we'll say that's Dan Various.
Sweet.
It's technically a step in the right direction.
Already?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta get some sleep, man. And I'm gonna go right back to sleep.
All right.
Does Dan Various' sleeping situation look more comfortable than mine?
Roll 2 perception checks for me.
Oh,
What'd you roll?
God.
I got
You're rolling so bad.
6 and a 9.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, it does actually. He looks like he was sleeping really, really well when you woke him up.
Yeah. I'm gonna, as he's getting up, just kind of right where he was and fall asleep where he was.
But he kind of looks at you and over to your tent. And he's like,
Shh. And I'm gonna just fall asleep.
all right. So morning comes to you as the birds are singing loudly in the morning. You kind of being almost eye level with the canopy, you hear it very, very well. The sounds of the jungle as it rises. The sun is already up, a hot sort of beam of sunshine on you in your exposed location on this small precipice hanging out over this scree field. And as you rise a little bit, Byron, you kind of stretch, and immediately you start scratching as you have bug bites all over your face from sleeping outside your tent. And you watch as Dan Various kind of slides out of your tent and kind of stands up and I actually slept pretty well. It's a hell of a tent.
Isn't it? I like it.
And you're just kind of like,
Yeah, your sleeping situation's not that bad. Do you have like bugs? Do you have bug spray or anything, or like an ointment? Do you know how to do any of that? You're a guide, right? You should know how to do that.
yeah. Maybe once we get back in the jungle a bit. There's not much around here. You look around. There's really not much for vegetation, but there is some snake left, and he heats it up over the fire. And he hands out a little bit if you're interested. He starts gnawing on the leftovers and offers it to the rest of you.
A little.
Bacon.
You just have the ability. Is that a spell is that bacon flavor, the spell? Do you have the spell Bacos?
No, I actually studied under the Archmagister Guy Fierius at one point when I was a kid. The only spell he picked up at that point was BAM, Flavor Town, and
which
this
was
is that.
made, which was originally made famous by Sir Francis Bacon, the originator of bacon
Very
magic.
true. Very true.
Flavortown? I haven't heard of that place. Sounds like a nice place to visit, though.
It's obvious. What's the name of our fucking cook? It's obviously not where he's from.
Yes. Ship food. I'm missing ship food right now.
Eventually, you guys gather your stuff, right? And you shoulder your
Yes.
packs. You've eaten your bacon-flavored hardtack. Some of you have eaten the rest of the snake that Danvers had caught. Byron is covered in bites on his face and hands. But you begin to make your way. I would like everybody to roll a survival check again for the journey.
Character sheet.
Yes, 22.
Very nice.
I got an 8.
Oh boy.
20.
Nice.
I'm
I
at
got that shit
15.
trained and I got an 8.
15. So, okay, very nice. You guys push on through the morning, and it's rough going. You climb up what remains of this scree field, and you get into an area where the canopy trees have sort of fallen behind you. There are some tall trees, but they are few and far between. You're looking more at sort of this eye-level scrub. And even the scrub itself is sort of dispersed on the landscape. It's very rocky. You've essentially stepped from the soft, wet forest of the Gloomhaven Glades, and you have set foot on the hardened stone of a region called the Cauldrons. Twisted and cracked by an epoch of tectonic convergence, there are jagged shards of rock, dark basalt that stand at the edge of vast, sinuous canyon lands before you. You look in and you can see that the path ahead kind of drops into these canyons and provides a very distinct pathway forward.
Well, good. At least there is only one way in and out, which surely means that nothing could be laying in wait.
We still see the macaw, right?
Yeah, the macaw has been guiding you the whole time and is perched now at the edge of the canyon. Kind of as you peer down, you can see just these rolling canyon lands, and it's almost like this strange labyrinth that is a bit untenable in terms of your comprehension of which way to go. But you see that before you, the macaw has a lit on this edge of one of the entrances. And again, it's sort of preening itself as it perches there waiting for you.
Make our way.
We will follow the
moving.
macaw.
I feel like now we have Theo in the lead.
Yeah.
Byron's holding on to the back of Theo, like
Yeah.
scratching his face.
But Byron's doing pretty well at this point.
Just so everybody knows, Kai Whimsy just gave us all a advantage. So in case folks are watching and they want to influence the game in some way, you can cheer 100 bits and donate an advantage to one of the players. So we all have one. Thank you, Kai Whimsy.
You're the best.
At this point, the macaw kind of just stays perched as you walk past it. And Danverius kind of stops and looks up at it, and one by one, you kind of notice that it's not going any further than this.
Yeah, that's the that would be the sign that this is as far as it knows how to go, and we're on our own.
So we're basically at like the top of like this valley that descends down.
Yeah, you look ahead of you, and it's like so it's kind of like Utah, where you've got all these canyons in front of you, and they're just sinuous like gorges that kind of disappear into the distance. And there's one distinct entrance into a canyon that the macaw perched at. There are other openings that you could potentially find, but this is the one that the macaw is perched at, kind of waiting for you to pass. and as you do, it does not leave from that location.
Well, that's ominous as hell.
I'm just gonna give him a nod as I walk by.
Theo
Macaw.
just rolling
I'll
out the
yell.
scroll.
I'll look up at the macaw and be like, Macaw, you protect my animals. Threateningly.
Kind of looks at you, and in response, you just hear it say, "It's a boat! It's a boat!"
I am not a boat.
You might be a boat.
It's a
I could-
flippy flop.
I could be 1/8 boat. Tops.
I mean, that's fair. I've seen the way you work.
All right, so just to interject, someone, Kim Colo, first of all, you're awesome. Just gave everyone advantage except for this Byron Hern weirdo.
God dang it. That's my one follower on my channel.
Hey, what's your channel, Byron? Kirk?
Just Kai Whims. Just me.
Yeah, you guys.
I just play weird games.
Follow Kai Whimsy. You know.
You can. It's really up to you.
Well,
I
yeah,
just
totally.
nerd out.
We're not gonna force you.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a
But
mate.
do it, damn it. Do it.
Thank you.
I feel like I
Zimcola.
I haven't brought it up, but I think as we kind of enter these badlands, as it were, I will tell my fellows. I will say, I rode the tiger's dreams last night. Divining a way forward, as perhaps you might imagine, tigers aren't known for forgiveness. It might be we have to kill this creature to free the doctor.
Yeah, it might
Let's kill it then.
come to that. We might not have a choice. It might just jump on us and we'll have to fight back.
I'm telling you guys though, like start with the eyes. It works. I'm telling you. Trust me.
I've heard of this to the pain.
Yeah, fellows, I've been meaning to ask you. What do you intend? What is the reason you've come after? Just to kill this thing, or is there something you intend to gain from it?
Well, technically, we're on the job.
Yeah, we were hired. You already know all this, Dan Various. You assaulted the doctor's
Gentlemen,
warehouse.
please. There's something massively powerful here that we're dealing with.
Yeah, and massively evil. You just saw what it did to Mordecai or Moradu. We don't have a choice here. This thing could take out the entire Cybrid Island, and there are a lot of innocent people here. There are a lot of innocent villages that are being.
You can wait here with the macaw if you want.
I haven't come this far to stop now, but this employer of yours, what's the interest?
His interest has been taken care of. This is our interest now.
You knew the doctor, right, Danverius? You met him.
Graw, yeah, of course.
What
Don't
was
you
your
want to
impression
help
of him?
Yeah, curious and academic. Are you trying to save the man? Is that what we're here for?
We'd love to. Do you have an idea?
I would love to save him, but, this has escalated, and now we're in it. And I, for one, am not going to walk away from it.
Well, the Tenoch here says we may have to destroy this beast to save him.
Right.
How do you reconcile that
I don't have a good idea at this point. I think we're just going to end up having to kill it, if at all possible. I would love to find these lovely Zanzaran people. They might have some better information about how to save the doctor or kill the monster, or both. But we have to find them.
They do sound professional in terms of their knowledge of this. What did she call it? A plague?
Hold on. Mozenji.
Deg, you seem to imply that perhaps this is the doctor.
As far as we know, it is. It might not be. It could have killed the doctor and left him for dead, left his body somewhere.
Or it could have killed him and is riding his corpse.
Maybe it took possession of the doctor before he even left the jungles of the Amadio. I don't know. We're tasked with bringing the doctor back, and that's what we're going to do.
Dead or alive.
Would you go so far to say, is dead or alive, he's coming with us?
Yeah.
I'd go as far as saying wanted, dead or alive.
I don't know what good his dead body will be to our employer, but I think the interest was his research and his collections, right?
Tenoch, yes.
I have a out of character clarification question.
Okay.
I am remembering perhaps incorrectly, but did we learn of somebody who may or may not have been Danvarius, who was a go-between for Gra and Tanika on their expedition to the Amadio?
No, I think
I remember when we learned the story from Tanika, I remember that we were told, or from somebody, that we were told about this other person who was their like fucking guide, their go-between. I don't remember, and I haven't written it down right. I vaguely remember that maybe it was Danvarius, which is half of why he's of interest.
So
I'm conflating two different things.
Yep, there's two different things.
Okay.
So Tenoch and the rest of the group would remember that Tanika had told you a story of Zanzaran hosts in that valley, the Bodal River Valley, who had facilitated the work of Dr. Gra and his team while they were there. They're like anthropologists, ethnobotanist types from the Royal Athenaeum in Monmurg, right? Mm-hmm. That is, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but there was sort of like a facilitator that they worked with.
Right.
Then there is Danvarius, who is he comes from a different storyline.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
That's just where for some reason Tanika, I thought of them as
they met Danvarius on the boat back from there to Cybernet.
Correct. Yep. Tanika,
that's
right.
Okay.
Yep. Danvarius joined them on the ship, and he and Gra were quite amicable with each other, telling stories late at night, drinking, probably, by candlelight, discussing philosophy and whatever else, that kind of thing.
But Danvarius was not at the Bodal River with them. Okay.
Not to your knowledge.
That we know of.
That you know
sure.
of. Right. Yep.
But he was the guy who, according to...
We do know that
what's her name? He was the one...
Alice the Meat.
Thank you.
The Butcher Boys.
That she was the one who pointed them in the direction of the warehouse filled with his goods.
Mm-hmm.
The goods that we were tasked with recovering. And those were the people we slaughtered in that warehouse.
And he's since kind of, like he said, he might have spoke to them, but he kind of denied it, right?
He denied it.
Yeah.
He basically said that he may have mentioned something, at the bar about something or other, some sort of, cargo of great value, that kind of thing. But yeah.
Yep. And
As
I've
we
called
all
him out
do.
for it a few times, but we haven't reached ahead yet.
Right.
But then now he saved my life, so I'm not really sure what.
Yeah, maybe you set him free. The only way a tiger knows how.
Through sweet, sweet death.
Oh, I thought by like licking them until they feel better.
But no, there's no freedom in sucker.
Well, here's the
In
deal.
violence.
Our plan is to go down there, find this beast, and if possible, save it. But we're probably going to kill it, and that's the world we're in right now.
That's just the way it is.
Some things will
It's
never
not.
change.
Da-da-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-dun. Glad you took that journey with me, Dan Various.
Righto.
Eh,
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Let
put
me-
my helmet on.
let me get this straight, fellas, one last time, just to so I'm clear on the rules of engagement here. We are not trying to kill this thing. We're trying to capture it and bring it back to whoever this employer is of yours. This what you call what the name?
No.
Yes,
didn't
Mariconia.
Theo vocally tries to speak over Tenoch saying Mariconia's name, which probably doesn't work.
It didn't work,
Roll-
unfortunately.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
But,
I was going to say, you could roll for it if you want. I'm open
Theo's
to
like,
that.
no. We're going to kill it unless we come up with a better option. I mean, it's still a plague monster that could unleash, a semi-apocalypse. We're not
Let's-
fucking around, but
Yeah,
if we can find an alternate to finding out, we will.
Let's not kid ourselves. If this thing attacks us the minute we see it, we need to defend ourselves to the death.
oh man,
For
I
sure.
just had a worrisome thought.
We could try to communicate with it if we get in that kind of scenario, but I think we try to find it, observe it, see what it's doing, and hopefully we find the Zenzarin before then.
And let us be. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, and let us be honest with ourselves. Ours are only a skill in death. Mine may be in foretelling, but it is only in foretelling death. Even our new ally, the Heirophant, has no skill in cleansing this plague, as she herself has said. It is outside of her ken. If Mother Tiger says that we must kill this thing, we must kill it. Before, like Theo says, it spreads to your home.
At this point,
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we take the chance. Don't hesitate.
so here's my question, and I'll look at Danvarius now. You were on the boat with him before he changed. Did he act differently? Did he act throughout your journey with him? Did things change between you two? Did you notice anything happening to him while you were traveling from the jungle?
Oh, I didn't know the man. It'd be hard to say.
You spent so much time with him, though.
Right, but I didn't know him before. I met him on the ship. It'd be difficult to judge any change of demeanor or habit or the woman he works with would be be at a source of that information. I would guess she seems to have known him for some time. But tell me this, Knucklebones, this employer you seem to be so loyal to, is Mariconia. What is his motivation with this research? What do you know of his intentions with it? Or you don't strike me as the type to blindly, fetch quest for some.
Rude.
Wow, I feel called out now.
I mean, he is kind of calling you out because he gets the
No, I
sense that
know.
you're the
He's got a point.
closest, that
Yeah.
you're the closest to this thing. And now
He-
the rest of you can kind of do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
how well do you guys know Tenoch?
I will respond.
We have been bosom brothers for centuries.
That's awkward.
2 days longer than Danvarius.
Wow, it was like
Just
3
about.
days.
It was like
Just about.
We took a whole
Yeah.
boat ride
3,
together, all right?
whatever.
3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you guys how to role play. I'm just saying that's the sort of thing he's doing right
Yep.
now. Is
Yeah.
that's his wedge thing that he's doing?
Oh no, we
I will-
noticed.
I will
That
respond
was a good point.
and say, it is true. You cut to the heart of it. Our employer, I can imagine, is mostly after the goods which you willingly attempted to steal, abscond with.
Whoa, wait
Um,
now.
And it is perhaps also true that those goods are now in the hands of said employer. Now, of course, my employer does know that Doc Ock, as it were, has continued access to such goods and would thus be, as you would say, lead to more profit. I have worked for Mariconia for some time, and indeed, it is for my own gain, as I knew that it would lead me here. But that is no reason to back out of a deal, go against someone's word.
Hey, I can perhaps make this a little simple. Hey, Danvarius, where are you going with all this? Like, if you're gonna get your cards on the table, I figured you were gonna try for this part of the strategy after we dealt with it. But if you want to go now, let's go ahead and just get on into it. What are you thinking? What are you suggesting? Where do you want to go with this?
Look, fellas, there's a really good chance that we're going to die here. Now, I'd like to know what we're going to die for, and who's pulling the strings behind this. I made a deal with y'all to guide you, to get you here. I fought alongside you. I have, gotten you to the point where we are. I feel like these are legitimate questions. I am no employee of this Mariconia as you are. I have questions about this, what the Heirophant described as some sort of apocalyptic or plague. That terrifies me a bit. Am I an opportunist? Of course. That's how I've survived.
I pulled one of those tumors off your neck. I think that's what we're talking about here now.
No, mostly I'm just wondering where you're going with this. Like, if you're just concerned about whether or not we're going to take back a weapon to a greedy man in a city who's going to use it to begin his own necromantic march of power, that's not fucking happening. If we think that whatever is going to happen here is going to be questionable for what's happening in the outside world, it's going to be dealt with there.
Well, then,
That I can promise you.
the
That's
cards
another
are
reason we should talk to the Zenzarans.
the cards are on the table. Then, Theo, it seems that was my biggest concern, is that there may be those of us in this party who intend to take this thing back to someone with questionable judgment and morality.
Oh no! A thing from a valley that creates plagues was nowhere in our agreement. And if someone wants to give us shit over that, my response will be it wasn't in the fine print, and we can have a conversation about what you're after the fact, as far as dealing with our employer.
The creature,
So yeah.
yeah, The creature's not leaving. We can't let it leave this island.
Yep.
If we
As
have to
far
kill
as
it, we kill it.
Mariconia is involved, we've fulfilled our contract on that. What we're doing now has been
As much as we
through
can.
our own research and our own motivations. We're following the captain now.
Look, fellas, I'm willing to fight alongside you. I know that the death may be imminent. I just want to know why. I think you've answered that, Theo. I think you've answered it.
I tried to be a simple creature. It doesn't work very well.
No.
Especially when I hit on the Archdruid. Again, please keep me from doing that in the future. Maybe work out a signal or just hit me over the head immediately.
No, we're going to let that keep happening.
Yeah, just give me a safe word.
Banana.
I open my mouth.
Hammock.
Banana hammock.
It's an interesting turn of a phrase. What's that mean?
It means we need to keep Theo from hitting on the Heirophant of Tuatha de Beorri.
Well,
Piece
fellas,
of exotic underwear.
the day seems to be a little bit long in the tooth, if you will. Perhaps we should press
get
on.
moving.
Let's go find an ancient evil from beyond the ken of mortals. And just slap Deg on the shoulder.
What is the marching order as you descend into the gorges of the Cauldron?
Those of us with good survival skills. I'll be
Theo
in the
will
front.
go first if no. Okay, I will go behind the captain then, because I do have survival trained.
Deg,
Okay.
Theo.
Yeah.
I'll bring up the rear.
Oh, I was going to
Okay.
say
That's pretty good.
I would bring up the rear as another survival person, but
Well,
you were also
okay.
very observant, I think.
Well, I was thinking if you bring up the rear, I'll go third, but I'll stealth, and I'll try and stay between you and Theo without being seen.
So Rhunar, Theo, Dan Virius, Byron, Tenoch. Sound good?
Yep.
All right.
And I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself as we cross
Very smart.
Cross the threshold.
Yeah,
All right.
And I'm
going
going
to
to keep a close
traveling
eye
with
on various.
shield and spear out.
Okay. Shield and spear out. Good to know. Shield, spear. We've got mage armor. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
And Byron, explain to me you're keeping an eye on Dan Virius thing, just so I kind of get a feel for what you're talking about.
Well, especially with the way he was pointing fingers at Tenoch, who I haven't really spent a lot of time doubting at this point, especially through his actions. But thinking back to the other night where he had his hand on his dagger, when I kind of confronted him about the warehouse, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and see if he's sending signals. I'm gonna be watching his hands pretty much mostly. Make sure he's not sending signals, making sure there's not something else watching us, making sure he's not, leaving some trail for people who might be following us.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
I'm
As you guys,
of him.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
As is how you have been most of the campaign since he's joined you. I appreciate that. You descend into the gorge, and it is hot. There is no cover. There is no shade. The sun is beating down on you, and as you walk along, it is a pretty easy path. It almost looks as though at some point a river had flowed through this area and carved out these sinuous paths. You look up, and 20, 30 feet above you is a ridgeline. These are like slot canyons that you're walking through at this point. You can barely see the sky, but the sun is right overhead beating down on you. For the most part, the insects have subsided. And as you move forward, you kind of descend a little bit deeper. You get the sense that you're walking deeper into this labyrinth. And in the distance, you hear this series of gaseous hisses audible from just beyond the next corner, and you get to the corner and it's just beyond the next corner, and you can hear this and you get closer and closer, and eventually you come around a corner and you look ahead of you and you see this boiling geyser that erupts in front of you, sending a 20-foot tall jet of water and steam into the air. The hot boiling water kind of falls on the stone around you. Hot mist settling on the damp ground and sizzling against this strange, like, limestone formations that all drip with condensation in this area. The steam hangs low in this slot canyon and obscures your view to about 20 to 30 feet in front of you. You kind of all look at each other as another eruption of this geyser and more water just kind of pitter-patters and falls down around you. That is what lays in front of you in this slot canyon. And we will find out how you're going to deal with it next week when we come back to Beyond Saltmarsh. You have entered the Cauldrons.
It's going to be fine. Nothing is going to go wrong in there.
I hope not.
Well,
It's totally fine. It's like going to Yellowstone, right?
It's not bad.
how long has it been since
not
we all
bad.
rolled some characters anyways? I mean, this could be a lot of fun.
Well, you have
Well,
your
in
backup
one
pieces,
case,
right?
in one case, it's been a year and 2 months.
That's true. There's one of these kids is doing his own thing by keeping his PC alive throughout the whole campaign.
Yeah, I don't know what he's playing at, but yeah, I guess it's working.
Well,
Rhunar fucking Deg.
to be fair,
He did die
Theo
once.
has not died.
Yeah.
That's
So
Technically,
that's a
that
good
Rhunar
thing.
died on a beach.
That is true.
Yep.
I think Theo might already be dead. He's a
Wow.
necromancer.
It's
That's
more
dark.
like Schrodinger's necromancer. As long as he dies, he is not a necromancer. If he dies, he was a necromancer the whole time.
Ooh.
Don't make sense.
I like
now.
that.
Okay,
I like that a lot.
Quantum
I don't know how that-
necromancy theory.
I totally
I don't know
follow
how
that logic.
works.
How do you guys feel about doing a raid?
Oh man,
feel real good about it.
I love it.
Should we do it?
Raids.
Uh, You know, we've been
Raids
really
make me feel good.
consistent with 20 sides to every story. It looks like they're playing the Rise of Tiamat.
Rise of Tiamat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix is still starting soon.
I know.
John,
Coming
hey,
out of the abyss.
hey, John, hey, start a little earlier, bro.
Just 5
Start
minutes.
a little earlier. 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah, we haven't had the chance to raid him in a while.
We could go
I
late.
know.
Do we have a giveaway today?
We do not have anything lined up for today. Thanks for bringing that up.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. We didn't talk about that at the beginning. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally
There's a reason for
forgot
that.
No giveaways today. Sorry.
That's kind of the way it works. But we do have a raid getting ready to go here.
Yeah, let's
and
do
we'll
it.
we'll jump over to 20 sides of every story. Hey, folks, anybody who's still here watching, we really appreciate it. It's been an interesting journey on this side quest to a side quest to a side quest that has dropped us into what is now the Cauldrons, basically at the center of Cybert Isle in the wonderful world of Greyhawk. We will find out next week what happens, but in the meantime, we're going to raid because that's what we like to do. Please join us as we go check out 20 sides to every story. I'm going to drop in the end music here, but thank you very much. We'll see you next time, and join us tomorrow for Midwinter Keening. Okay, bye-bye.
Oh yeah.
Bye-bye.